Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
So Alyssa originally invited me to talk about terabits, and I decided that I wasn't going to talk about terabits. So when Alyssa first met me, I was working on a project. So, by background, I'm an entrepreneur, and I've done some science in my life, although not nearly as much as I would have liked. But when she originally met me, I was doing a bunch of work related to mashing up different data sources. So the idea was, how do you take different data sources, visualize them, and get them all together in a nice, convenient package? And that was done circa 2006, 2007, in a project that I did with my son, which then became a company which is now actually applying that technology to real estate, of all crazy things. But the thing that I want to talk about today is sort of my latest thing, which is more around collaboration. I've become fascinated with how do people collaborate, and in particular, the market that I've become interested in is tutoring. So I'm going to take this thing completely in a different tangent, but the intent of it is to show you some technology that hopefully will stimulate some thought around how some of these things can actually be used within the context that you guys are talking about. In particular, well, I have to start by saying one thing. As an outsider looking in, the UIs for most of the stuff that I've seen are terrible. I mean, with the exception of a couple, a lot of things need to change. Anyway, can we get up there? My laptop doesn't seem to want to talk to this machine. Yeah, the UR tech support. Do I need to do anything? Is it working? There we go. Okay. So again, the thing that I would like you to do is just focus more on the pieces of technology that are there and the way they've been enabled. By the way, everything that you see here was built by about 4 people over the last 6 or 7 months. So it didn't take quite a lot of time to produce, but I think it's got some interesting ideas. So the basic premise of this is that there are lots of individual tutors out there in the market. And the problem with tutors is that they can't really manage their students very well. They can't collaborate with their students when they're not physically in front of them. And they don't have the ability to actually go off and oh great, you got TechCrunch. They don't have the ability to actually interact with their students online. So what we've done is we've created an entire package for them to be able to do all of those things simultaneously. So first, there is a notion in the system of a student. Wow, this is all stretched out. So a student has, did I? There we go. So a student has goals that they're trying to achieve with their tutor. There are tutoring sessions that they wind up having. And then all of the activities of the students are actually listed here on the right-hand side. So think of this very much like a Facebook application, right? By the way, the intent was that 8-year-olds could actually play with this, and we've actually tested this with 8-year-olds, and they can use it without any guidance. Students can get specific goals. So if I have a goal, which is to learn this particular framework, all the goal description and everything else is on here. But most importantly, everything having to do with that goal, the entire transaction, is completely captured in the system. So for example, any comments that are made are completely captured. Any emails that are sent are completely captured. And the other thing that you can do here is a poll. So you might have a bunch of people working on something and say, which one of you guys thinks this is the next right thing to do? You can run the poll. The poll is dynamic, and all the results are completely saved inside the stream. So this stream gets built up and is completely searchable by anybody who is interacting with this goal. There are 3 types of people who can interact with it. A student can actually interact with it, a tutor can interact with it, and a parent can interact with it, or anybody else who's helping achieve this goal. Everything that happens in here gets updated on the activity streams of the appropriate person or gets sent to them by email. And the entire process with email and everything else is completely integrated in the system. So what winds up happening is that any time I comment or I make comments on comments, they're completely captured within this paradigm. The nice part about this is that once it's captured, it's kept forever, and you can go back and review it. Additionally, if you have files that you want to upload to say, look, this is probably a good thing for you to read next, you can upload those files. All those files are kept, versions of the files are kept, and everything is, again, completely archived. Alternatively, I can log in as a tutor. See if I can figure out how to do this. That's not what I want. Is that 5 minutes? Okay, good. So alternatively, I can log in as a tutor, and a tutor can have active students, inactive students. They can set tests up. They can do all kinds of other things that they want to be able to do, and they can invite students for online sessions. So the interesting thing is we've also included completely an online system that allows you to do complete interaction with the student. So right now I have a friend of mine who's sitting in Paris. He is logged in right now, and we've got chat going. He's presenting a document to me. By the way, the number of documents types that we can take is something on the order of 30. So any document type that you like can be uploaded. And then the chats happen back and forth between us. The nice thing about this is that he's actually typing in French, and I'm seeing it in English. So it's actually dynamically translating using Google Translate on the fly to be able to actually go make this happen. And just to prove, hopefully he's still there. So, by the way, it supports whatever languages Google Translate supports, which is 40 plus. It in fact does the dynamic translation as you go across. So the intent here is to be able to do collaboration across pretty much any geographic boundary that you want. The other part, which I'm not going to demo right now, is that you can do screen sharing and you can also do video sharing back and forth. Right? We support all of the servers, everything else for being able to do this. This is all dynamic, and it doesn't cost a dime, which is also a very nice feature of this whole thing. So coming back to the system itself, every role here, you can imagine now think about this as a bunch of collaborators, somebody working on a paper. This would be an ideal environment. We could set up something equivalent for that. You'd have the main authors of the paper. They could collaborate on everything that's going back and forth. They could upload documents back and forth, exchange notes, emails, whatever it is. And the nice thing is that every single thing is completely captured in here. One of the other things that we could do, I think would be very interesting and promising, would be to take some of the tools that we've seen here and actually integrate them right in. So while you're actually working on papers, you can actually go, assuming the RESTful APIs are available, you can actually have actions in here to pull in citations and all kinds of other things that you've got completely dynamically. So slightly different way of thinking about, or slightly different vector on talking about stuff, but I just wanted to kind of get your heads thinking around how easy it is to create an interactive paradigm that can actually help in the authoring process of papers. And at the same time, because it is so simple to use, you can be working on multiple papers, multiple documents. You can filter everything by every activity that takes place. One single place to go, one single dashboard for you to look at, and it's kind of nice to be able to play with. So I just wanted to paint the picture. Thank you very much.